Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Ashley and today I'm going to be talking about my first ever Uber experience. I feel like Tana Mojo or something right now. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna get right on into it. So where I'm from, like originally from, Uber isn't really a thing. There's like taxi services, but even that people don't use that much. The idea of Uber wasn't really a thing just where I'm from. But now that I've moved to like a college town, there are a lot of opportunities to take Ubers. This one night being one of them. One of my friends had decided to come see me and we were gonna hang out and have like a girls' night or whatever. So we decided that we wanted to go bar hopping. The only problem that we really had was that my boyfriend had just like worked all day and he was tired and ready to go to bed. And we obviously didn't want to drink and drive or anything. So we decided that we would try an Uber. I had like always been kind of scared to take one originally just because I don't know, I am so paranoid. I feel like they're gonna memorize my address, they're gonna kill me. It's not really gonna be an Uber who's picking me up. So I just had a lot of issues with it. But yeah, since we were bar hopping, we were like, well, we might as well try Uber. We were all ready to go and the night was about to begin. So my boyfriend dropped us off at the first bar. He was awake for that, but he was like, you guys are on your own now, like you're gonna have to find a way home. So at this first bar we went to, it was like a sports bar, but it was like exclusively a bar. I know that some restaurants are sports bars also. Whenever we walked in, we kind of immediately were like, this isn't our scene. It was very biker gangish. There were like so many like middle-aged people and we were just these two like freshly 21-year-old girls that were just wanted to get drunk. I don't know, their drink selection was kind of weird. We just weren't really feeling it, so we were like, I guess we'll call our first Uber and we will go to a different bar. Obviously it was fine, like the first Uber was fine, the lady was really nice. It was like a 2-minute drive, and then we got to the second bar and we started to drink some more. All the bars pretty much were dead because it was Thanksgiving week. So a lot of the students had like went home, and so a lot of the things were really dead. We like had a few shots and I think a drink or two at that one too. So we were feeling really good by this point, but then we wanted to go to another bar. Obviously we were bar hopping, so we got another Uber to go to another bar. Whenever we got to this bar, immediately whenever we tried to order drinks, they told us they just had beer, they didn't have any spirits, and I was like, I hate beer. Beer is like my least favorite thing to drink. I do not like it, and I won't even pretend to like it or drink it at all. My friend had a few beers there, and we were just having a fun time because they actually had stuff to do there. They had like pool tables and whatever. At the other places, everything was pretty much just bare. I feel like we were probably there for the longest time at this one just because there was actually something to do, like I said. So we were playing pool. And just because there was beer at this one, we were like, we want to drink more, we want to turn up more and have like a party atmosphere, because this was everybody just like sitting at tables kind of. We want alcohol. We looked through a bunch of the bars, this other bar, and it looked like it would be a fun time, and it said it was open. We should have maybe been skeptical, or they should have at least put the right hours on there so that we would have known if it was open or closed, but what are you gonna do? We decided to call our second to last Uber of the night. He was coming from like a far away kind of, but we were having fun, like I said, so we just waited for him to get there. In fact, we were having so much fun that he had been sitting outside for 5 minutes and we never even noticed. I remember our phones were dying, so we were trying to ration their battery. So whenever we finally unlocked it and looked, it said that our driver was there. I ran out to the Uber. Our Uber driver's name was Adam, and this is the one that you can probably guess where everything kind of went wrong. So we were waiting for my friend to close out her tab, and she came out and we started to head off to the bar. We didn't realize it, or maybe we did and we were just too drunk to realize that this bar was far away from where we were kind of. As we were talking to Adam, I noticed that we began seeing less lights and we were headed to a part of town that I had never really seen before. It started kind of getting darker and darker, and then finally we pull up to the bar that we said that we wanted to go to, and Adam said, "Have a nice night, ladies," and let us out. We walked up to the door of the bar and it was locked. We quickly realized that this bar was closed. The door was locked. Nobody was in the parking lot, which Adam could have seen this. I figured he would have maybe known that the bar was closed. We should have realized that too, but I guess enough lights were on to where it looked like it could have been open, but there were no cars and we couldn't see really, but he could have seen that, so he could have been like, hey, are you sure this is where you want to stop? By the time we had checked the door, like this was within like 3 minutes, like it was so fast. By the time we had checked the door and went back to be like, hey, wait a second, Adam was gone. I don't know why he decided to book it out of there. All of our other Uber drivers had made sure we got to where we were going before they drove off, which I think is very kind of them. And this bar was literally in the middle of nowhere on a side of town that I had never been to. I didn't know where we were, and we were both like freaking out super bad. I was like, I don't know where we are. It's cold out here. Let's just go to this gas station, because luckily there was a gas station across the way. We went to the gas station across the way and we were just like, okay, we'll just call another Uber. It's gonna be fine. Like, there's Ubers all around here, I guess. So it's gonna be fine. Thinking that we were gonna get back home really quick. By this point, my friend had the Uber app on her phone. We originally started with it on mine. But yeah, we went to her phone and clicked in my address to go home, because we were like, okay, this is enough. We should probably just go home for the night, because it was about like 2 a.m. I typed in my address to her phone and we clicked on the button to find a ride for us. After it was loading for like a minute or so, it said no rides available. To us, like, we didn't know that was a thing. Like, we just thought that there really were like Ubers everywhere to where you could take them, especially like in this town. And we started to freak out even more. We tried refreshing it a bunch of times, like within like 10 minutes, to see if we could get a ride back, because Adam was just in the area. Why couldn't he turn around and take us back? Like, why wouldn't he be in this area to pick us up, you know? Like 10-15 minutes went by and it said no rides available, and we were like, oh shoot. We tried calling my boyfriend. Literally, it said that I called him like 6 or 7 times, even though before we left he was like, if anything does happen, like, you can call me and I'll come pick you up. I called him 6 or 7 times and he didn't answer. So we were trapped in this gas station on a side of town I'd never been to, with no way to get home. This was on the opposite side of town from where I live, so it would have taken us, like, if we wanted to walk home, it would have taken us a long time. So we started freaking out. We were both still drunk. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to suck it up. I'm gonna have to sober up. I'm gonna go talk to the gas station attendant. We are gonna find a way home. I'm gonna have to suck it up. I have to go talk to them. So even though I was really drunk, I tried, like, in my best sober voice. I think that I sounded pretty good. I went to the gas station attendant and was like, hey, me and my friend don't have a way to get home. We took an Uber to the bar across the street and he left us. We don't have any way to get home. Is there any other taxi service around here that we can call to help us out? I can't remember the name of it. It was like letters or something. I don't know. I'll call it like the AB, because it was 2 letters like that. He was like, oh yeah, there's this taxi service called the AB. You can just call them if you look up their number and they can help you get a ride home. They can take you home. So we went to the side of the gas station and I decided to look them up, and a number came up for it, and I called the AB. I can't remember what the opening, they just said like hello or whatever, like it was an actual person. And then I was like, hey, I was just wondering like how I could go about getting a ride with you. I'm kind of like in a pinch and I need to get home, but I don't have a way to get home. So like, how can I set up getting a ride with you? Super nice, like not drunk sounding at all. She just responded back to me saying like, you need to call the number. Oh, I thought I looked you guys up and this was the number. Do you have the number on hand? Like, can you give it to me so that I can set up a ride? She kind of like huffed, and then it was like quiet, and I waited for like a minute, and then it disconnected me. I was like, girl, I am about to die. I was so fed up. I was like, I don't know why she hung up. And then we ended up looking at the reviews later, and they were saying they had like a 1-star rating, like they weren't good at all. and I can see why. Thanks for helping me in my time of need. At this point, I really felt at a loss. I was like, we are gonna have to stay the night at this gas station. There is no way we can get home. I was even like, maybe we should like call the police. Maybe they could give us a ride home. I don't know if they even do that. We have to get home tonight. So we just kept refreshing. And then after, like, I would say we'd been in this gas station for a half an hour or more. Luckily, it said there was a ride available, and she was one of our drivers that we had her earlier in the night. So we were like, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. I want to say it was like Sarah or something. It was such a saving grace that Sarah was in the area at the time, and she saved the day. As soon as we got in, she's like, you guys are on a bad side of town. I bet. Even though Sarah was supposed to take us to her house, we were like, could you possibly stop at this Mexican place? It's like a Mexican fast food place, sort of. It's not Taco Bell. It's like authentic Mexican food, but like in a cafeteria style. Like, it's the best, especially whenever you're drunk. So we were like, could you possibly stop here? And Sarah was nice enough to like actually stop and wait for us to get food there. And then she took us back home to our safe house. I was so relieved. So was my friend. We were so scared that we were gonna have to stay the night at this gas station. So yeah, I think I would use Uber again. I don't think I'll ever use it by myself just because that weirds me out. Thanks, Adam, for leaving us in the middle of nowhere when you probably saw that the bar was closed anyways. We would have paid you for another ride to get back home or to get somewhere else, but you didn't give us the chance. Like, of course that would happen for the first time I ever use Uber, because I am not a very lucky person. If you've had any weird experiences with Uber, you should leave them down below, because I'm sure that's happened to more people than we would think. Thank you so much for watching my video. It means so much to me, and hopefully I will have new videos out for you soon.